There's a name that's been echoing through the halls of Hollywood, not just for her stunning looks, but for how she's redefining what it means to be a modern-day superstar. Sydney Sweeney. From her humble beginnings to becoming one of the most influential actresses of her generation, Sydney's rise is nothing short of breathtaking. But what set her apart wasn't just talent, it was persistence, a relentless drive, and a work ethic that seemed almost otherworldly. She didn't wait for opportunity. She hunted it down, and when it didn't knock, she built her own door. A bold move. Not many actresses in their 20s are calling the shots behind the camera. Sydney wasn't just content being the face of someone else's story. While most stars curate their public personas to fit Hollywood's impossible standards, Sydney's authenticity is her superpower. She shares unfiltered moments from her life working on her cars, training in MMA, renovating her own house. She's not just another actress. She's the girl next door who can throw a punch, fix an engine. But Sydney is showing an entire generation that they can be the boss, the storyteller, and the star all at once. Fashion houses fight to have her on their runways and red carpets. But unlike many who simply serve as the face of a brand, Sydney brings her authenticity to every partnership. She chooses brands that align with who she is, not just for the paycheck but for the message. And that's not just inspiring, it's revolutionary. And light up the big screen all on the same day. Because the truth is, Sydney Sweeney isn't just changing Hollywood for herself. She's opening doors for the next generation of storytellers, dreamers, and doers. She's proving that the future belongs to those bold enough to take it. That relatability, it's magnetic. Fans don't just admire her, they connect with her. Because she's living proof that not only is it possible, it's happening right now. And turn on the bell icon so you never miss a story that is changing the world of entertainment as we know it. Young girls everywhere, look at Sydney and see a blueprint for something bigger. Not just fame, not just fortune, but freedom. The freedom to choose their own path, to chase their passions unapologetically, and to demand a seat at the table, or better yet, build their own table entirely. Whether she's posting about her beloved dog, her latest renovation project, or behind-the-scenes moments on set, her feed feels like a genuine peek into her world. Sydney's not slowing down. She's stacking projects, producing, acting, and even dabbling in directing. Every move she makes, IS&T, just about adding another credit to her IMDb page. It's a statement. But instead of letting that stop her, she's turned every obstacle into an opportunity. She's not just breaking the mold. She's melting it down and reshaping it in her own image. A statement that young women don't have to wait for permission. They don't have to wait for someone to hand them a role or a script. They can create it themselves. And in an era where audiences crave authenticity more than perfection, that's her secret weapon. She wanted to tell her own, and not just hers. She wanted to create space for stories that Hollywood often overlooks. But her journey isn't just about fame, red carpets, and flashing cameras. Sydney didn't just star in it. She controlled the narrative from start to finish. For so long, Hollywood has had a habit of giving actresses a shelf life. Young starlets shine bright for a moment, then fade into obscurity. Sydney has been open about the financial realities of being an actress, something most celebrities shy away from discussing. In an interview, she revealed that despite her success, she couldn't afford to take a 6-month break without working. That brutally honest statement broke the illusion many have about Hollywood wealth. Ended conversation about how even top-tier talent can struggle in an industry that chews people up and spits them out. But Sydney is playing a completely different game. She's not here for a moment. She's here to build an empire. Her portrayal of Cassie Howard wasn't just acting, it was an emotional masterclass, vulnerable, raw, complex. She didn't play Cassie, she became her. Suddenly, the internet was ablaze with her name. Overnight, Sydney went from rising actress to global phenomenon. But here's where it gets wild. In fact, her refusal to conform is exactly why she's become a symbol of change. She's redefining what success looks like. It's not just about landing blockbuster roles. It's about ownership, about telling your own story, about being in the driver's seat of your own career. Instead of simply riding the wave of her sudden fame, Sydney did something that Hollywood isn't used to seeing from young actresses. She took control. It's about breaking the rules, rewriting narratives, and shaking the very foundation of the entertainment industry. This isn't just a story about an actress. It's a story about a woman who dared to dream differently and made the entire world take notice. Imagine this, a small-town girl, born in Spokane, Washington, far from the glitz and glamour of Los Angeles. Unlike many who stumble into fame, Sydney's journey was intentional. At just 12 years old, she sat her parents down and presented them with a 5-year business plan for how she was going to become an actress. Not a dream, not a fantasy, a plan. Who does that at 12? That moment alone should have been the first clue that this girl was about to change everything. Sydney started like many do, booking minor roles on popular TV shows like Grey's Anatomy, Criminal Minds, and Pretty Little Liars. The world really started paying attention when Sydney landed her role in HBO's Euphoria. In an industry that often sidelines young women, pigeonholing them into typecast roles, Sydney flipped the script. She founded her own production company, 50/50 Films. Her first major project as a producer was The Players Table, based on the novel They Wish They Were Us. And let's talk about her image for a second. But behind the glamorous magazine covers and viral red carpet moments is a story of relentless hustle. And yet, even with the pressure, the expectations, and the constant spotlight, Sydney never compromises who she is. Think about how rare that is in this industry. Young women in Hollywood are often told to smile, look pretty, and say their lines. And it's not just Hollywood that's paying attention. Brands are lining up to work with her. Then there's her social media presence. It's not manufactured, it's not overly curated, it's real. But here's what's really wild. This is just the beginning. Her impact goes beyond entertainment. Sydney Sweeney has become a force of nature in an industry that was designed to nurture women like her. And if you think she's done, think again. So the next time someone tells you that one person can't change the world, just point them to Sydney Sweeney. If you loved this story and want to keep diving into the untold stories of your favorite stars, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the Celebs Empire.